just right back, peeps. Hello. Hello, hello. Everything is cursed and I hate my life. Yeah. Just as you would imagine. Dude, my day has been fucking awful. I have no energy and my printer is not working, so I have no content for you except for the one on my PC. And it looks really shit because the cute thing about this is me whacking out my book and like being like, hee hee, you know? But can't do that. So that's really fun. I wanna cry. I wanna die on the inside. I am praying for the Lord above, for his mercy and everything, because I'm wishing upon Dom figuring it out and maybe being able to, you know, whip something up and figure it out so I can, you know, still look cute and like pretend like there's something written in there except for this. It is, I fucking cursed as fuck shit. Well, it's okay. Hi. Welcome. Welcome to the new peeps. Yes, come here, Tato. Let's give cuddle. Give cuddle. Love you, girl. Anyways, moving on. Let me just readjust my body. Hello, Case. How are you doing, friend? Are you guys excited, by the way, for whatever Case is going to bring upon us? Because, you know, I've seen the quotes, I've read the book. Case is going to wreak some havoc in this bitch. Oh, hi! Wait, are you the fiance? Hi! Welcome! I'm very excited to meet you. How are you doing? Oh, that's so cute. I'm so happy. Hi. 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 It's me. Oh, hi, Amy. Oh my god. So many cutie patooties up in this bitch. I'm very happy. I'm very excited to see all of you. Oh, this is beautiful. This makes me very happy. Usually 2D trees, but you know, since everything has been cursed, I can only show you my German physical copies and then like prayed for the Lord above to you know, have to sadly read it off of my monitor in this case. I apologize. I'm sorry. This is like not at all what I wanted. But yeah, we gotta figure it out, right? So we are going to talk about a lot of really cool stuff today. But before we do that, hi, I'm Kim. I do book streams every last Tuesday of the month. We love talking about books. We talk about books I've read this month. We talk about books we've read together. And when I say books, I mean a singular book we choose together once a month. And then we yap about it on stream. Yeah, I love books. Books are nice. I don't know. Moving on. And its sequels. Indeed. Right. Let's start with what I love to start with. I'm just going to pretend like I'm reading off of this, even though I'm not. We are going to start at the reading challenge, actually, because that is where I like to start. Thank you very much. Let me just move you over here, and then move this over there. And then we swap scenes, actually. Wait, no. Dom, shut up. And then we show this is the Goodreads. The Goodreads shows that I have 39 books completed. I'm 3 books ahead of schedule, by the way. I have 78% read books this year, which I'm very proud of. For everybody that doesn't know, I'm doing a 50 books reading challenge, which is me trying to read 50 books this year. If it's more, sick. If it's not, also okay. But I'm going to try to read 50 books this year because books are sick, you know? So let's see how far we've come in this challenge. 39 books, 3 books ahead of schedule, and there you go. That what we got so far. It's a hefty amount. It's a sick amount. And I am, you know, yes. Yes. And that is why I got a Kindle, actually. And I also have the free Spotify books. That's where I got the Twisted series from. Yeah. So, there's that. Yes, 39 books. We got a couple of series. We got a couple of solo bolo kind of things. Yeah, right. Anyways, then we move on to me yapping about books all day long. Right. Let me move you guys over here again and praise for the Lord Jesus above. There we go. That's the first book I actually wanted to talk about. That's beautiful. It's the Thursday Murder Club. For later references, by the way. We're going to get our boy Kaysen again. And he's going to put us in a lot of pain. Richard Osman is bae. I agree. However, I have some stuff to say, you know? I always have a lot of stuff to say, actually. Sorry, I really have to read this off of this, and I want to cry about it, genuinely, but here we are. I'm gonna print this and pretend like I did not read that. Right! Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. It is, genre-wise, we're moving mystery and fiction. I rated it 3 stars. And the synopsis is as follows. In a peaceful retirement village, 4 unlikely friends meet up once a week to investigate unsolved murders. But when a brutal killing takes place on their very doorstep, the Thursday Murder Club finds themselves in the middle of their first live case. Elizabeth, Joyce, Ibrahim, and Ron might be pushing 80, but they still have... Oh, thank you for the raid, Chris. You're so sweet. Thank you, baby. Hi, baby. We're talking about books today. First one is the Thursday Murder Club. I got it from the local library, as you can tell. Can I get a shout out for the baby? You're so cute. Thank you, Crisco. Right. Elizabeth, Joyce, Ibrahim, and Ron might be pushing 80, but they still have a few tricks up their sleeves. Can our unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? We do have to turn down the light, because the light is kind of not it. The light is kind of not it, you know? Thank you for the shout out for our baby. I think that's nicer, right? Wait. Is that nicer? Can't tell. You guys have to tell me. I don't fucking know. I just know I'm here and I'm queer. Of course, babes. Right, Thursday Murder Club. Can our unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? Right. My opinions on this. The Thursday Murder Club, consisting of Ron, Elizabeth, Joyce, Ibrahim, and honorarily Penny, meets every Thursday, hence the name, at Cooper's Chase, a peaceful retirement community where nothing much happens. That is, until a murder occurs with its idyllic community, and 4 of its residents decide to stick their noses in and solve it themselves. The Thursday Murder Club was enjoyable. I liked getting to know and reading about the quirky characters, their antics, and their penchant for solving murders. It was an intriguing and funny premise, which did in a way deliver, but the problem was that it was very slow, and even though there were some twists and turns, they were quite anticlimactic. There were too many characters' perspectives, which made it a lot more confusing, and maybe even a bit unnecessary, because the real connection to any of them got lost somewhere along the way. Hi, Apple. Also, shut the fuck up, Apple. Wait, I have to close this. We close this. Sir, I will fight you, no issue. And I will laugh while doing so. Anyways, shut up. We miss you, Kathy. Right, moving on. In theory, the story seems quite captivating, but in reality, it never made you sit on the edge of your seat or have to read the next chapter. Unfortunately, I wasn't that invested in the crime, and I wasn't that curious about who the murderer. Such a weird. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes, I will. I will indeed. Thank you. Thank you. And I wasn't that curious about who the murderer actually was, which is kind of the whole point of a mystery novel. It was a nice book to cruise along with, and quite cozy, and somewhat, you heard me, somewhat wholesome as well, but something you could pretty easily put down. If you end up picking it up, do it more for the oldies than the murder mystery. Otherwise, I could see you get really disappointed. Yeah, so there's that. It was like really a cute book. I'm not going to deny that. It was adorable. It was like I like the characters, but I strongly believe that the murder mystery like slipped to the background because it was more focused on the old people, which was adorable, right? They were like really sweet, really funny, really hee hee haha kind of thing. But if I am being served a murder mystery and I don't get murder mystery, it's kind of not that sick, you know? But I am excited. Like I am going to continue and going to see if the next part is going to be maybe a bit more exciting. I had a really hard time like picking it up. Like I had to force myself because the chapters are quite short. Like the chapters are sometimes only like half a page long. And somehow it still felt slow. Like somehow I still felt myself like looking at my clock being like, when am I going to... When is this going to... You know, when are we going to wrap it up, oldies? So yeah. If you want to read it, I can highly recommend it for, like, the funny hee-hee ha-ha banter between the old people. Because it's really cute. Like, it's adorable. But it's not going to rock your socks off. Hi, Bedro. How are you doing? Right. That was that. I hope you guys are, by the way, excited for me bringing Case in, because this is... this is going to be obnoxious, because I read 2 horny books again, and we're getting to the horny books. Case, are you ready? I hope you're ready, fam. I hope you're ready, fam. Ay. Let me move that little toe smeller immediately so he knows, so we're ready for him. Right. Let me see. No one is excited. You're lying and you know it. You're lying and you know it. You're very excited for this. She has sent them to him already. Right. You're gonna get traumatized. Like, genuinely, Anthony and Crisco should maybe leave the room for these 2 books because they are fucking traumatizing. Especially, like, you can stay for, like, my opinions and the quotes, but bro, please leave for, like, you can stay for the synopsis and my opinions, but leave for the quotes, because the quotes are... horny books. You heard correctly, Emriel. I'm very terribly sorry. Anthony isn't. Yes. I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm going to send the children out when it's time for the children to get out, but I'll text you in chat when you come back. Oh, wait, because I love horny book. I love horny books. Don't get me wrong. I love a good smutty book. But you will understand why I hate them, Emriel, in just a second. Right. We are going to get into it with my beloved, behated, Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. Goodreads Choice Award nominee for Best Romance in 2022. It's Romance and Contemporary. And hold on to your shoes. I gave it 0.5 stars. Worst book I've read this year. Please. Please. And I'm going to explain why I hate them. I'm going to explain why I hate them, okay? I'm going to, like, no judgment if you like them. I just think Horny out of 5 is a 10. That is a hard one, actually. I think they're, like, on the same level to me. Right, let's get into the synopsis. He hates her almost as much as he wants her. Gorgeous, cocky, and fast on his way to becoming a hotshot doctor, Josh Chen has never met a woman he couldn't charm, except for Jules fucking Ambrose. The beautiful redhead has been a thorn in his side since they met, but she also consumes his thoughts in a way no woman ever has. What is going on in here? Josh Chen, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Wait. But she also consumes his thoughts in a way no woman ever has. When their animosity explodes into one unforgettable night, he proposes a solution that'll get her out of his system once and for all. An enemies with benefits arrangement with simple rules. No jealousy, no strings attached, and absolutely no falling in love. Outgoing and ambitious, Jules Ambrose is a former party girl who's focused on one thing, passing the attorney's bar exam. The last thing she needs is to get involved with a doctor who puts the suffer in insufferable, no matter how good looking he is. But the more she gets to know him, the more she realizes there's more than meets the eye for the man she's hated for so long. Her best friend's brother, her nemesis, her only salvation. Theirs is a match made in hell, and when the demons from their past catch up with them, they're faced with truths that could either save them or destroy everything they've worked for. Twisted Hate is a steamy enemies with benefits / enemies to lovers romance. It's book 3 in a Twisted series but can be read as a standalone. Warning. You can do whatever you want, baby. Warning. It contains explicit content, profanity, and topics that may be sensitive to some readers. For details, please see content notes inside the book. Recommended for 18+. Right, let's all take a big breather. Let's take a breathe in. And breathe out. Opinions. Let me start out by saying the only hate here in this book is mine for this absolute garbage. I know I said last time that Twisted Love was the absolute worst book I have ever read. But I have to retract this statement. I am in fact eating my words because god fucking damn it, was this one traumatizing. If this book has 0 haters, I'm dead, guys. For real. I should have stopped while I still had some of my sanity left, but Case and I fucking cosplaying awful quotes sent me into this fucking mess, and here we are. I love her. I love her so much. This is beautiful. If this book has 0 haters, I'm dead, guys, for real. I should have stopped. Yeah. 100%. I should have stopped while I still had some of my sanity left. But Case and I, fucking cosplaying awful quotes, sent me into this fucking mess, and here we are. I should start making a scale of how much painful quaking did Dom hear during this book. Like a Kim in pain ratio compared to the noise in the house. Because this one sent me. It sent me. You should. If you like awful books, you should. We get hints of a relationship between Jules and Josh since Twisted Love. book one, by the way, where their banter and hate is an obvious throw to one of the oldest tropes in romance, enemies to lovers. I don't think it really is, though. Mans was mean to Jules once, and the girl just ran with it. He literally just says he thinks Jules is a terrible influence on his sister and wants Ava to move out of their shared space. Ava refuses. Jules happens to hear because, of course, she does. Because, of course, her course from college ends right when Josh and Ava are having that conversation. When this book begins, Josh and Jules are in their usual status quo of throwing verbal daggers at each other. Life throws them together when they both start working at the same clinic, and that's when they enter into the truce that would eventually lead to them being together. But Josh cared not even 10% in. He was already talking about hugging, and at the 50% mark, he says verbatim, "I never felt that for anyone except her," as a response to how Alex described his feelings for Ava. How in the fuck, Knuckles, is that enemies to lovers, I ask? I loved it. I loved it. That's beautiful. My girl Anna has a type of man. Anna, by the way, is the author. Sorry, I should have maybe clarified that. My girl Anna has a type in men, and she furiously shows it in every single one of her books. Every single one of those men is an absolute alpha twat, more or less insufferable. But somehow, Alex Volkov is not my worst ick in her series anymore. Anna has outdone herself with the main lead in this one, Josh Chen, Ava's older brother. Josh is so fucking full of himself. God's literal gift to the female population. He's a doctor, but a good one, a good one. He's one of the good ones. Self-proclaimed nice guy, adrenaline junkie, blah, blah, blah. Spare my man, honestly. Yeah. Josh needs therapy. Seriously. Book 1 Josh is not the same as Book 3 Josh. Book 1 Josh is a very laid-back, total chill man, a man whore, if you will, and so chill about life in general. Book 3 Josh has serious issues. He was betrayed by Alex, his best friend, which honestly is not even that big of a deal when you think about everything and consider what truly happened. And his father landed himself in prison because he's an actual psycho, because, as we know, welcome back. Yes. Because he's an actual psycho. But instead of looking for help in this clearly fucked mindset he is, he spends his whole time with coping, whatever that may look like. Work, travel, sex. Doesn't stop there though. Let me get into some background on our female lead. I hate how excited I was for this one because I like Jules Ambrose. She was so fun in the scenes she got. I loved her attitude, but girl, did she fall from the heavens above. Jules' backstory is revealed about 50% in and is traumatizing. Poor girl went through a shit ton of horrifying things and still managed to build a good life for herself. Of course, talking about said trauma is hard when you never had anyone to confide in, because people have been taking advantage of you left, right, and center. But wait, it gets worse. Because not only does Jules' Psycho X return, he starts blackmailing her with footage of her in a very fragile and vulnerable state that could ruin the rest of her life. I love you. I love you already. Right. Jules ultimately confesses everything to Josh. Her past, that she'd been blackmailed, that she did what she did, that she did what she had to get rid of aforementioned footage, and the reason she did what she did. She comes clear to the man. A little late, yes, maybe, yet she does anyways. Hi, Quokka. Our girl makes some questionable decisions for sure, but the way Josh gets back at her is literally insane. Unfucking forgivable, actually. Which brings me to my trauma list. There you go. Every single bit of character and character development Jules showed was crushed when she took that man-child back. Because for some odd reason, our girl Anna thinks a breakup in Act 3 is crucial to the story. Every single one of her books, And I can say this because I read all 4 of that fucking series. Every single one has a breakup in Act 3. For what reason? We don't know. Yes, I said reason. And what about it? And what about it? Subi. Right. Awa. Let me just, Yep. Right. Point 2 I have to make. The abrupt switch up. In Josh's behavior, from chill and casual to possessive unga bunga caveman, halfway through was jarring. Third, I'm so sorry, but every time I get reminded of Josh and Ava's dad trying to kill her in book 1, I die a little on the inside. What the fuck was that Scooby-Doo villain-ass plotline? I said what I said. Scooby-Doo villain-ass plotline. Fourth, and most traumatizing to me. The questionable consent scene. Bro, what? I almost cried, and I mean it. I almost cried. Like, I had to stop the audiobook and was sitting there in disbelief. I almost cried at this one because how fucking disturbing is that? Your partner tells you you're forgiven. He basically is violent towards you during the deed and takes the forgiveness back as soon as you both are finished to throw you out on the streets with the words, "The only thing I will miss about you is your tight pussy." Wow. Just wow. Josh Chen, they could never make me like you. Maybe. Again, the fucking toxic masculinity, but in this case, even worse. Sorry, point 5. Again, the fucking toxic masculinity, but in this case, even worse. Because it literally it's giving incel energy and fucking no more Mr. Nice Guy, you know? 6. Also, the fact that in the German version, I did not want to look up this in English because I do not want to make Case read this because I think he would literally disintegrate. I did not want to look up the English quote, TBH. There is a sentence along the lines of, "She squeezed/milked me until the last drop." Sir, this is a Wendy's. What the fuck? What the fuck? No, I didn't find it. I didn't look for it. Like, you've gotten enough quotes, good sir. But anyways, this is a Wendy's. Go. I could go on and on, but at this point, it is a headache. It is fucking headache-inducing. Just stay away from this series, really, but especially this one. And now we get to everybody's favorite part, which is the quotes. Let me bring in my boy. But give me just a second. Give me just a second. Because, as you know, my OBS loves to hate me. My OBS loves to hate me. Hello. There it is, your guys' favorite part. Shut up. We all know it. We all know it's your guys' favorite part. Shut up. Deal with it. Shut the fuck up. I'm not. How about you shut your bitches up? I do not remember asking you. Also, you're not in yet. Give me a sec. There you go. Wait, that is the wrong. Wait, there you go. We go on full face so everybody sees my face reacting to this absolute horror. Do you want to go balls deep, or do you want me to lock in with you? Do you guys want solo case, like some solo case action, or do you guys want me to make this a double trouble?
Narrator Kim, you know.
I hate you. I hate you. Guys, listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. You know what? I'll be the narrator again. Let's start this out. May as well go double trouble. It's already traumatizing. True. True. Can everybody hear my boy Case clearly? because then we'll start with this absolute horror shit show. Is Emerald ready too? Because I know she's waiting. Down to 0. Ay, ay, ay.
God, did you bring my wife in?
I don't think she's time.
Unlucky.
Anyways,
I'm sure
unlucky.
she would have loved it.
Yeah, facts. Facts. All right, let's start this out.
All right. Oh, I'll go for the first book, the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You are mine.
I said, against her mouth.
Let another man touch you, Jules, and you'll find out just how easily I can take a man's life as I can save one.
First of all, why is that so fucking cheesy? Like, what the fuck is that? Case help. I need Jesus.
I think this man needs Jesus.
This man
More than
definitely
you
needs
do.
Right? See? He thinks I need less Jesus than this man, which is beautiful, you know? Alright, let's move on.
Okay. You and someone who can challenge you, excite you, keep you on your toes. And as for what you need someone to bend you over and fuck that attitude right out of you.
I agree with what Zeph is saying in chat, which is even Jesus wouldn't die for these sins. I agree fully. This is my body taking a screenshot. And he also says, you are taking far too much pleasure in reading these.
I think it's hilarious, honestly. I read King Server LFGs for fun, and it's hilarious.
And that, my friends, is a friend of mine, you know? That man is matching my freak. So, anyways, moving on. Right, next one. Yeah.
Mine. I don't know how to.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Like, it should maybe do it like a little more grumbly, like mine.
Mine. I don't know. This just sounds so cringe. Up until this moment, Asher had been one of my sports idols, but I wanted to gouge his fucking eyes out for even looking at her like that. Like, she could possibly be his when she so clearly, irrevocably belongs to me.
Yep. Oh, that's iced tea, baby. I love that you think that's sunflower oil. You're just sipping on some sunflower oil, don't worry about it.
Delicious.
Yeah, delicious. Crisco, you should cover your ears for the next few minutes. Right. I think that is one of the worst ones. And that says a lot.
The mine part sounds like, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. That one was awful as well.
That's the cringe. Yeah, both parts are cringe. But like...
Yeah. No, I think the next one is honestly worse because it's so fucking cheesy. Like, brother, please.
Alright. After 29 years on Earth, I thought I'd experienced every type of sex possible. Until Jules. I didn't even know what to call what we did. Sex seemed too bland and generic a description. It had been something raw, more primal. Jules had unlocked a darker version of me that I thought myself capable of, and now that it was out, I wasn't sure I could ever put it back in. It should have been terrifying, but it was liberating, the greatest high I'd ever experienced.
If somebody said this to my face, I would soccer punch him.
I don't know, maybe it did work on you, you know? Who knows? You never know until you experience it, Kim. Maybe you should ask Dom to read this for you as well.
I would rather choke on dick.
Fair.
I think it's worse that like all of these super horny ones are just coming from him. I think my gentleman's vegetables just jumped inside me. They're never coming back. Honestly, understandable. I don't even have one, but if I had, it would like just suck itself right in there. But it's getting worse. There's more. There's more. There's more. I've gotten some more because you enjoyed last time so much. Yeah, Zeph. Stop being a little wussy. Right. Are you ready for the next one, Case? I don't think
this
you
is
are.
honestly one of the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because you know, you gone.
Alright. Let's make another bet, Red. I bet if I bent you over, yanked up that little skirt of yours, I'd find you soaking for me. And I bet I could have you begging for my cock. For me to just make you come so hard, you'll see fucking stars before the night is over.
I want out of this. I can't do this anymore, guys. What the fuck? You're having way too much fun with this. Oh no, we're talking about a book fam. We're talking about a book fam. We're talking about horrible book quotes, my dude. And that's one of them. I just brought my friend in because my friend loves me as much as he hates me, and he just wants to see me squirm in pain. And he also likes cosplaying Awful Man, apparently.
I need to cosplay for that one, Kim. You know that.
Sir, if I ever find out you talk to women like that, I'm going to bend you over and stick my cock into you. You hear me?
Yeah, of course. I bet you'll be thinking about this little thing when you're alone later, won't you?
Disgusting. Ay. The worst part is it could be at me, you know, because I also have red hair and she's a ginger, like she's also redhead, so this is kind of traumatizing. Thank you. I appreciate you, Sev. You know? I think the next one is also like so bad because it's so cocky for no reason.
I'll go. Jules.
You go. He said softly. You go. The word stuck in my throat before. Wait, not that the year was supposed to be me, Bibs. Let's start this again. You know, let's start this again. It's okay.
Okay, let's restart this then.
Yeah. Let's restart.
Jules?
He said softly. Yeah. The word stuck in my throat before it came out all wrong. Weird and raspy, not at all like my normal voice.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how badly do you want me to fuck you right now?
Not at all. Get your grubby hands away from me. No, Anthony, you have like give me 1 more minute and then like wait.
Let's do one more and then you can go on with normal books maybe.
I have the second one, and the second one is right after.
There were two of them. Yeah, true.
I got you, fam. I'm sorry, baby. Oh, that is even worse for some reason. I sank to my knees, my mouth tipping up at the surprise in her eyes. Our last few times had been rough and deliciously filthy, but today I was in a mood for a different kind of feast. I hooked my fingers in the waistband of her underwear and pulled them down beneath her skirt.
Might want to cover your mouth, Red.
Yes, Anthony save your innocence. Right. I'm gonna come back in like a minute when I like read the synopsis and everything, but you know. Or I'll just mute myself. I'll be back in just a bit, okay? Case.
Yes.
Okay. No, I was just making sure you heard me.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I just have I stream muted. I have your Discord open.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right, I'll be right back with you. I just, you know, synopsis and shit.
Yeah, all good.
So how are we feeling? Honestly, Crisco, same. No, if a man talked to me like this, I would kill myself. And I mean this wholeheartedly. If a man ever spoke to me like this, I will kill myself. Yes, what Crisco says. Yeah, no, can't do it, no. Not with that fucking attitude, he don't. And especially with the backstory this man has. Abso-fucking-lutely not. I... You know, don't die, Zeph. It's not worth it. What if who said it? You mean my friend, Case? Case said it, and I still want to crawl back into my body and die. I don't think there's any man on this planet that could look at me. Like, even if fucking Henry Cavill came up to me and said to me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how badly do you want to fuck me right now? I would take this pen and ram it so far up his eye. He would be blinded. Sir, you're delusional. You are delusional. I respect it, but you're delusional. Right, moving on. We got our next book, which is Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. Part 4 to the whole spiel. Yeah. What nails? My natural nails? Oh, Evelyn's nails. Yes. Yes. I would grab those and, like, gauge the whole eyeball out. Yes. I'm with you on that one. Alright, moving on. Again. Twisted Lies by Ana Huang, which is part 4 to this whole awful-ass book. I don't know how to move anymore. I kind of feel sick. I'm barfing. I'm almost barfing. Holy shit. Anyways. Yes. Twisted Lies by Ana Huang, romance/contemporary. I gave it 1.5 stars, which it's not the worst. The highest rating the series got was a 2 stars, by the way. 2 stars was the best one, and I thought, you know, that was going to be the lowest of the low. But here we are, having given part 3 0.5 stars. Right. He'll do anything to have her, including lie. Suits... Oh, wait. Charming, deadly, and smart enough to hide it. Christian Harper is a monster dressed in the perfectly tailored suit of a gentleman. He has little use for morals and even less use for love, but he can't deny the strange pull he feels toward the woman living just one floor below him. She's the object of his darkest desires, the only puzzle he cannot solve. And when the opportunity to get closer to her arises, he breaks his own rules to offer her a deal she can't refuse. Every monster has their weakness. She is his obsession, his addiction, his only exception. Sweet, shy, and introverted despite her social media fame, Stella Alonso is a romantic who keeps her heart in a cage. Between her 2 jobs, she has little time or desire for a relationship. But when a threat from her past drives her into the arms and house of the most dangerous man she's ever met, she's tempted to let herself feel something for the first time in a long time. Because despite Christian's cold nature, he makes her feel everything when she's with him. Passionate, truly wanted, Theirs is a love twisted with secrets and tainted by lies. And when the truths are finally revealed, they could shatter everything. Twisted Lies is a steamy, medium to slow burn fake dating romance. It is the fourth and final book in the Twisted series, but can be read as a standalone. Warning: contains a morally gray male main character, explicit content, violence, profanity, and topics that may be sensitive to some readers. Please see inside the book for a detailed list. Recommended for 18 plus. Yes, final for now. I need therapy. Yes. Somehow, he's not the worst. Right, let me get into my opinions. Hi Lilia, how are you doing? Wait, let me swap back to where we are supposed to be. There you go. We're talking about Twisted Lies by Na Huang right now. This is I wish this was actually. I will say something very brave right now. I did not hate Christian Harper half as much as I thought I would. I actually think he is alright. A psycho for sure, but that is just the type of man or girl Anna likes to write about, I guess. I guess she has a blueprint for the men she writes. Possessive, obsessive, manipulative, cruel, and just slaps some random ass traits and a slightly changed, unhinged backstory on them. Christian is not horrid though. He is not horrid, is what I said. I would say it is Riz Larson first, Christian Harper second, Alex Volkov third, and Josh Chen on the last place. Which, again, is crazy, because I didn't think anyone could push Alex Volkov off the throne, and I did not think I could hate anyone more than Alex. But here we are. Twisted Lies follows Stella and Christian. Stella is an influencer and a fashion blogger who is introverted but... Where am I? I accidentally clicked something there. Right. Who is introverted but also loves spending time being social with friends and her work. She works for a fashion magazine as her day job. Christian is the billionaire CEO of Harper Security and cybersecurity expert. We first meet Christian in Twisted Games because he's Reese's boss and friend. Stella needs to find a way to increase her followers because she's looking to get a big corporation with her dream brand and decides to look for a fake boyfriend. Christian volunteers as a tribute. But if we really want to get into it, Stella is constantly anxious because her parents are assholes in a we want nothing but the best for you, but nothing you want is good enough kind of way, and she has a stalker that is able to break into her house. She feels bad for being a kinky bitch, but very demure and very mindful in her daily life. So, that's it. She is the Bella Swan of the Twisted series. Girl has the emotional bandwidth of a kiddie pool. Christian is insane. Possessive, obsessive, and we are back at it again with the stalking, which leads us to our third act breakup. Who would have thunk? Beautiful. Who could have seen that one coming? Morally gray men, give me the heebie-jeebies, I swear to God. But I guess he really liked her, like in a non-objectifying way, at least when they really started dating, I suppose. And he sorted out her stalker. And when I say sorted out, what I really mean is he tortured the man and then shot him. Can you guys imagine how fucking batshit crazy the other man had gotten to be if this one is second place? What an awful day to have ears. This man, second place. I'm gonna say this again for the people in the back. First place was Riz Larson from the last Bookstream. He was not the worst. Didn't fucking beat his girl, you know? Just fucking beat her pussy. I mean, sorry, what? Lag, hello? Anyways. Overused words and phrases this time round. We got, listen here. We got pussy. We got clit. We got whiskey eyes, or just the word. Fuck. I cannot. Yes, Riz Larson, indeed. Am I right? Yes. Sorry. Let me start over. Overused words and phrases this time around. Pussy, clit, whiskey eyes, or just whiskey as a description. Butterfly as a fucking pet name. And then we got shit dripping down my legs. And we all know what is dripping down those legs. What really fucking grinded my gears though was the epilogue. Because guess fucking what? All the women get the same fucking trope. Children. All of them. Because fuck being successful in your field and wanting to experience life with your partner. If you don't pop out them little fucking crotch goblins within 7 years of marriage, you're not living. You're not living the life. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, oi, oi. Dude, I hate it here. If I had physical copies of these books, I would burn them. In a witch fire. Quotes. Right. I'm bringing Case back for the quotes. We need Case for the quotes. Case. Hello. Hello. Yeah, I need a hydrate for this, honestly. We don't need him for the quotes. You do need him for the quotes because somehow these are worse. Please. So let's start with a cringy one. Not horrible, but just fucking cringy and disgusting. Darkness was always drawn to light, but I wasn't just drawn to her. I was fucking obsessed. I would throw myself into her flame and let it burn me alive if it meant her warmth was the last thing I felt before I died. Ay. I think the next one is on you, Babs. Ay. Christian's lips brushed mine with each word. His grip tightened to the back of my neck as his voice dropped. Yeah, wait, fuck. I think we're in the wrong. You wanna do that again, babes? You wanna do that again? Because I just realized I forgot I didn't have Discord on the other one. You wanna do that again? Yeah, let's do it. Let's run it back. Yeah, let's run it back. Just run it back. It's all good. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Zeph. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you, fam. Don't worry about it. I got you, babes. I'm going crazy up in here. If I go crazy, you go crazy. Right.
Let's go. Make a few things clear.
Christian's lips brushed mine with each word.
Touch another man, he dies. Let another man touch you, he dies.
The last one is still, that's still a sentence for you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Tell me I can touch you.
His grip tightened on the back of my neck as his voice dropped.
I will fucking
die. Right. Moving on. Moving on. Yep. Yep. Same. Girl, same. Girl, same. Ay. The next one is also awful.
Careful, Stella.
His slow warning pulsed between my legs. Whatever fucking reason there is.
I'm not
Whatever
the
reason.
gentleman you think I am.
My reply fought its way back past. Well, my reply fought its way past my dry throat. I don't think you're a gentleman. That is a girl. Like, girl, listen, you're so
I see
eager.
quotation marks. Okay, I'm like, oh, this is my turn. Okay.
It's me. It's my turn. No, there's the girl is there too.
Yeah.
Let's run it back.
She has rights in this sentence.
Go back. Go back.
Okay.
You
Careful,
animal.
Stella.
His low warning pulsed between my legs.
I'm not the gentleman you think I am.
My reply fought its way past my dry throat. I don't think you're a gentleman at all. A slow, lazy smile tugged at his lips.
Smart girl.
Somebody block this man if he's being weird. Smart girl, yes. Yes, that is what he said. Yes, but he's a literal child. And if you're acting weird towards them, I will... I'm gonna at you, friend. I'm protecting the children. That is a child. When I say that's a child, I mean that's a child. Right. When I claimed Stella as mine, I would do it so fucking thoroughly, there wouldn't be a shred of doubt in either of our minds as to who she belonged to, or who I belonged to in return. Because the claimage again, I don't know why there is a claimage. You need a shot for that? Ooh, it's getting steamy up in here. Are you ready, Zeph? Are you ready, Zeph? Are you ready, Emriel? Because this one is awful. I need a shot right through my brain. No. You know what? Maybe. Maybe. Case, are you ready? Case, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Are you okay? Are you sure you want to read this? You don't have to.
I can read it for you. No worries.
For me, yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Yep.
just for you.
Yeah. It's just for me. It's for me.
Yeah,
it's for me.
gift.
Oh, thank you.
I'll
I think the last one is
I'll-
worse.
Yeah, I think the second one, or not this one, but the next one is worse.
Yeah.
I'll go for I will go for this one and the next one, and then you can do the last one.
Ay.
I know you like that last one for sure.
No, I really don't. I really fucking don't. Please don't make me say that.
Leave the best one for last.
Yeah,
Alright,
it is.
I'll go for this one.
Yeah.
I wanted to wrap her hair in my hand and tug her head back until those eyes were on mine. To mark that perfect skin with my teeth and claim her mouth in a kiss so fucking deep it would erase the notion that we were just housemates.
Right. Not crazy at all. Not crazy at all. You got it. GPQ myself in the head. Yep. I'm done. I'm done with that. That is not the worst one though. The worst ones are yet to come.
Save the best for last.
I'm sweating. Brother, I'm sweating. My head is on my desk, forcefully, understandably. Right, Case, do you wanna give me the honors of reading your last sentence for this time around?
Oh, you wanna do it?
No, I really don't. I don't, like, I think I can do the last one because it's so cringe, but I don't think I can utter the last word. Like, the last 3 words, I don't think I can get those out without fucking breaking down. In cringe.
Makes it extra funny.
Yeah, maybe. But go on, please.
Alright. Do you like being finger fucked out in the open like a good little slut?
Please tell me somebody else's body just took a screenshot. I feel violated. I don't want to be here anymore. I have goosebumps. Thank you, Case. I love you. I'll call you later. Oh, that was awful. I hated that. I hated that. And I heard that in an audiobook. This is still quotes from an audiobook I listened to because I thought it would be funny, but now that I have to say them out loud, it's not funny anymore. I want to get out of here. Get me out of here. I don't want to do this anymore. Right. Moving on. I think I have to like take another sip for this one. It is probably, but you know. I have not heard the worst yet. Yeah. Zeph, you have not heard the worst yet. That is the best part. We're here and we're queer, and you have not heard the worst part yet. I have goosebumps. Brace yourselves. Everybody, like, grab something you can scream into. And you can cuddle and then, like, point where it hurts to. Because this one... Yes. If anything, these books made me more gay. And you have not heard the last quote yet. I don't think I'm ready, actually. Right. Get up in here. Case has seen the quote and he knows. He knows. Yes, I get it. Baby, I get it. I get it. I do. I do wanna RER into a meat grinder right the fuck now. I spread my legs further, and he pushed the ice cube inside me at the same time he sucked my clit into his mouth. You want me to repeat that? Please don't make me repeat that. I really, really don't want to repeat that. I really, really don't want to repeat that. Please don't let me repeat that. I am begging you. I hate both of you. I spread my legs further apart, and he pushed the ice cube inside me at the same time he sucked my clit into his mouth. If I was not queer before reading these books, I would be queer now. Because how in the fuck, Knuckles, does that sound like something nice you could do with your partner? I'm traumatized. Fam, listen. Listen. I need Jesus Christ up in this bitch right the fuck now. I'm terribly sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, baby. Jesus did abandon us, and I apologize because that is on me. Right. I'm glad this is over. Very glad. Because now we get to the beautiful part in this. Right? Right. No more horny books. I got the series over with. I only got 2 more books by this bitch. And then I'm done with her. And I'm pumped about this. We get into... We get into what we actually want to get into. Which is... The Housemaid. Yes. We get into book club book. Is everybody here that wants to talk about book club? Book club, book club, book club, book club. In German they're, by the way, called Wenn sie wüsste und sie kann dich hören. Which means, if only she knew and she can hear you. Book club, book club, book club, book club. Right. I read both of them because double homicide, you know? we got for book club book of the month. We got The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This is the third one is not out yet in German. I don't think so. No. A Goodreads Choice Award nominee for Best Mystery and Thriller in 2022. Category is thriller and mystery. Talking about this one. And I gave it a 4 stars. 4 stars. You heard me. Oh wow, scratched my face. Right. Welcome to the family, Nina Winchester says as I shake her elegant manicured hand. I smile politely, gazing around the marble hallway. Working here is my last chance to start fresh. I can pretend to be whoever I like, but I'll soon learn that the Winchester secrets are far more dangerous than my own. Every day I clean the Winchester's beautiful house, top to bottom. I collect their daughter from school and I cook a delicious meal for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny room on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina makes a mess just to watch me clean it up, how she tells me strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband, Andrew, seems more broken every day. But as I look into Andrew's handsome brown eyes, so full of pain, it's hard not to imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. I only try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, just to see what it's like. But she soon finds out, and by the time I realize my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But I reassure myself the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. It was so good. Nope. Nope, that is not traumatizing. It's a horror mystery. It's not a horny book. I think you could read that. A 4 star, yeah. Understandable. Not horny and hashtag Millie is dumb is spot on. Right. Oh, that's so cute, baby. Wait, let me just swap scenes again so we can, you know, do the little yappage. Oi, there's a cursed book on screen right now. Anyways. It is really cool. My opinions on it. Ugh, I was so excited to get into this book right from when I first saw it on TikTok. I'm pretty sure. The synopsis looked fun and I heard a lot of good stuff about it. So when we got to the voting for the book club, and this was it, I was pumped. And I was not disappointed. The Housemaid is a very addictive read that is so hard to put down because it is so nicely paced. You'll more than likely find yourself reading deep into the night because it's genuinely a page turner. I loved all the little revelations that pop up here and there on top of a well thought out story. Just when you think you have it figured out, this novel turns your world upside down. The story is mainly about Millie, a recent parolee who is homeless and in need of a job. When she gets hired by Nina and Andrew as a live-in housemaid / nanny, she believes she has found her dream job, but soon she realizes that Nina is a very difficult person to work for, and the story unravels from there. I'm so beyond terrified of spoiling anything really, so I'm just going to give you some more little hee-hees for the non-readers, and the chat can take it away from there if they want. I loved the immediate creepy, eerie vibes I got from the get-go. Millie is desperate and deserves a few bonks for her questionable decision-making, but after all, I would consider her a real fucking bad bitch. Values on fleek. Take that statement as you wish. And the ending was so satisfying. I loved it. 100% would recommend. She is a bad bitch. And no one would choose. Yes. No, well, I get to like pre-select what I want to read basically. Like I take suggestions from you, So I do have a choice in like what I want in the voting, and I really, 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 really like it. They just made me crazy by almost choosing 2 books again 3 times, and that made me crazy. The rats made me crazy, you know. But yeah, no, I really, really, really liked the book. How did the rest of book club feel about it, by the way? Let's call them questionable at best decisions. You know, how does questionable at best sound to you? Because that bitch is a dumb bitch. She's a dumb bitch, but she's a bad bitch. You know. Once I hit part 2, I was fair, fair. I loved it. All 3 books. I hit part 2 and then read through to the ending in a single sitting. Understandable. Yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. It was really like it sucked me in so hard. Ooh. Um I wanted to like read because I promised you guys I would read Fourth Wing, and I started Fourth Wing, but this bitch had gotten me in a chokehold, and I figured I would like finish it in one sitting because it was really, really enjoyable. Like I just really liked the series, and I cannot wait for the third to come out so I can read it. I like it so far. It's really fun. I've not gotten too far into it. Like I'm like 150 pages into it, and like the German version has like 800 pages, so it is quite of a thicker than a snicker kind of book. Ooh. Um, I really like it so far though. Like it seems fun. I've heard a lot of critics. So I'm quite curious as to where it's going to go. But I really liked it. It was fun. It was really fun. It is really fun so far. Right. And because I'm an absolute menace, I also dove right into book 2. I was just too excited to see where this was going to go. This is The Housemaid's Secrets by Frida McFadden. Goodreads Choice Award winner, actually, winner, for Best Mystery and Thriller in 2023. It is thriller and mystery, and I gave it 3.5 stars. I did not like it as much. I did not like it as much as part 1, but I still thoroughly enjoyed my time. As he continues showing me their incredible penthouse apartment, I have a terrible feeling about the woman behind closed doors. But I can't risk losing this job, not if I want to keep my darkest secrets safe. It's hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past. So I thank my lucky stars that the Garricks miraculously give me a job, cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city, preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work here for a while, stay quiet until I get what I want. It's almost perfect, but I still haven't met Mrs. Garrick or seen inside the guest bedroom. I'm sure I hear her crying. I notice spots of blood around the neck of her white nightgowns when I'm doing laundry. And one day, I can't help but notice I can't help but knock on the door. When it gently swings open, what I see inside changes everything. That's when I make a promise. After all, I've done this before. I can protect Mrs. Garrick while keeping my own secrets locked up safe. Douglas Garrick has done wrong. He is going to pay. It's simply a question of how far I'm willing to go. Yeah. Same. The Enzo bit had me no whiplash. Same. Yes, that is the perfect. Yes. Yeah, no, 100%. 100%, I agree. My opinions on it. Okay, so because I really want to do Bookstream well and know exactly what I want to touch on, I started taking notes on my phone while reading to give you guys my all. For this one, I have exactly 3 points. I've had dense cunt, baddie, girl boss. That is all that I had. Those 3 words. Sometimes my brain thinks I'm smarter than I deserve credit for, but it is all right because watch me turn this out. Millie is back, still working as a maid and still struggling with her finances. She's in a steady relationship with Brock, a lawyer who doesn't know anything about her past. Not that she loves Brock, but as Enzo isn't around, he will do. Yeah. The end was so satisfying, I agree. It was beautiful. After Millie loses her current job, she gets a call from Douglas Garrick, a wealthy tech specialist. He wants Millie to clean and cook, but on one condition: she is not to interact with his wife, Wendy, who is ill. As Millie is desperate for a job, she agrees. However, things are, but obviously, not as declared, and Millie finds herself in a quandary. Risk her job helping Wendy, or go against her values by ignoring what's happening. Again, beautifully paced, easy to follow, couldn't put it down. Is it a bit ridiculous? Absolutely. Wait, no. Is it... I jumped. Is it a bit ridiculous? Maybe. Will I gobble that shit up because I grew up on weirder people writing horror? Absolutely. Did I enjoy the ride? Hell yeah. I stand by what I said in my phone notes. Dense cunt, baddie, girl boss. Just go and read this for yourself, really. You don't have to, though. The housemaid works perfectly by herself as well. It was a fun ride, and you would defo miss out if you didn't read this as well. Took half a point because, you know, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. Can't because I already knew. And the people, for the people who read it, you know exactly what I mean with the fool me once and fool me twice part. Yeah, exactly. Girl, I knew what was coming. Like, she was not thinking, like, my girl Frida cannot trick me like that. My girl Frida thinks she was slick with her, little cheeky beginning, but we all knew what was coming. We all knew there was some shenanigans about to go on. My girl Frida is fooling no one. Only fooling herself. I have to print all of this out. Oh, you're so cute, baby. That is so nice. Right. Yeah, I think that pretty much concludes book club book for this month. Sir, we're doing Bookstream. Nobody wants to play AWAM right now. I'm going to read to you guys in a sec. But first, let me take a selfie. No, first, let's talk about what I wanted to show you for this month's recommendation. We got it on the screen. We got it on the screen. It is the Six of Crow duology. In German, it's Das Lied der Krähen und Das Gold der Krähen. Look, can we just talk about this beautiful, beautiful cover? Like, fam, give it all to me. It's so nice. I love it. It is... Let me start from the get-go. Book of the Month, Series of the Month is The Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. Six of Crows, Goodreads Choice Award nominee for Best Young Adult Fantasy and Science Fiction in 2015, actually. It's quite an old book, but I do love me some old books. Fantasy category is Fantasy and Young Adult, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Ketterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price, and no one knows that better than criminal prodigy Kaz Brecker. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams. But he can't pull it off alone. A convict with a thirst for revenge. A sharpshooter who can't walk away from wager. A runaway with a privileged past. A spy known as the Wrath. A heartrender using her magic to survive the slums. A thief with a gift for an unlikely escape. 6 dangerous outcasts. 1 impossible heist. Kaz's crew is the only thing that might stand between the world and destruction if they don't kill each other first. Also, we'll need 2 weeks worth of book recs next. Yes, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. Don't worry about it. Then we got the second part, which is Crooked Kingdom. Goodreads Choice Award nominee for Best Young Adult Fantasy and Science Fiction 2016. Fantasy and Young Adults. I gave it 4 stars. Welcome to the world of the Grisha. Kaz Brekker and his crew of deadly outcasts have just pulled off a heist so daring even they didn't think they'd survive. But instead of divvying up a fat reward, they're right back to fighting for their lives. Double-crossed and badly weakened, the crew is low on resources, allies, and hope, as powerful forces from around the world descend on Ketterdam to root out the secrets of the dangerous drug known as Yurda Parnam. Old rivals and new enemies emerge to challenge Kaz's cunning and test the team's fragile loyalties. A war will be waged on the city's dark and twisting streets, a battle for revenge and redemption that will decide the fate of the Grisha world. That is queer. That is a queer book. That is a queer book. There's queer romance in there, and it's beautiful. It's genuinely one of my favorite parts about the series. Right. My opinions on it. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom are sick. Point blank period, straight up. I started reading the series around, I want to say November 2023. I got it recommended by my girl Emily and a lot of TikToks, and it didn't disappoint whatsoever. Honestly, everything about this book was awesome. Plot, characters, world building, writing. The never-ending scheming of Kaz Brekker, supported by the most unique crew imaginable, unfolds one of the most entertaining and original stories I've ever read. It is a bit confusing to get into, but there are red lines, and all the lines connect to a beautiful net of story and plot I have never seen before. Once beyond the more intricate part, there aren't any more slow-moving pieces in this well-oiled machine. The exhilarating story is full of suspense and mind-numbing plot twists, right till the end. There's also a nice bit of magic in a uniquely beautiful magical system, complemented with a little darker atmosphere to make things even more entertaining. The set of characters consists of some of the best I've ever come across, each contributing their own diverse and interesting fictional traits to help move along the plot. Irrespective of their shady morals, you're going to love all of them. The intentional gaps in the narrative gave me anxiety at times, but things did fall into place in the most satisfying way later on. The use of humor is subtle most of the time, but well handled overall to complement the setting of the plot. Also, fuck me. Oh, Jesus, I forgot to tell you about the main characters. Yes. Wow, that is crazy. Sorry, I forgot to talk about the characters first. Right, fuck, main characters, right, sorry, I'm rambling. We got Kaz Brekker, who is the secret leader / right hand of the leader of the Drax, a prominent gang in the city of Ketterdam. He's the brain, the schemer, the person behind the scenes pulling the strings. But don't underestimate him. Mans can throw them rated E for everybody's hands. He's the most manipulative, terrible, morally black protagonist I've ever read about, and I love him to pieces. He's absolutely an anti-hero. Yes, he's on a mission to save the world, but does he care about saving the world? Nope, he cares about getting his cash. He still manages to be a complex, dimensional character who genuinely cares about his friends not dying, though he'd never admit it. Yeah, only rich people have books. What do you mean, babes? Wait, did the music stop? Let me just look at the music really quickly. Oh no, it's just a breaky break. Alright. Wait. Why am I like this? Understandable. Heartstopper was really good. Ine Gaffa is a member of the Drags known as the Wrath. She works as the Drags spy, Ine Suli, and was raised performing with her family as an acrobat. She's a murderer, but she desperately wants to do the right thing and liberate slaves. She's gone through hell and she's come out strong and in control. She feels so real on page. She has a heart, but she only lets it out around the people she cares about. I love her. Jasper Fahey is a Semini-born sharpshooter, a member of the Dregs. He has an issue with sitting still and a gambling addiction. Mans is witty and an absolute delight to get a POV chapter from, but he's also incredibly sympathetic as a former farm boy who fell from grace. He likes living on the edge, and he's aware of the pain his own actions have caused him, and he's trying to work through it. Wylan, he joins the rescue team because of his knowledge of demolitions and his heritage. He's not used to getting in trouble. He is coming off as a blushing do-gooder, but with rumor and intrigue swirling around his actual past. Matthias, I don't want to say it like that. Matthias Helvar is Fjerdan, forced to join the mission. He has strong morals, high expectations, but will end anyone who is coming at him or the people he loves. And Nina Zenik, a Grisha who joined the Dregs. She worked for Kazbrecker before and is recruited to the crew for her skill set. She's hilarious and idealistic and clever and can go from flirting to making speeches within 10 seconds. She's such a great character because she's so earnest and positive despite everything that's happened to her. She is also one of the most badass bitches ever. God, this is so hard not to spoil with any of this. Just know the girlies are doing incredible things. There is an adorable queer storyline waiting, gut-wrenching twists, and maybe even a tear or two. I love it. It was definitely one of my favorite series, and I would highly recommend. No mourners, no funerals. So... It's okay, baby. It's okay. I understand. Wait, let me... Can I prop this up in a way that, like, I don't have to hold them because they're fucking heavy? Is that alright? Does it look cool? Like that? Maybe like that? Yeah, let's do it like that. How about like that? That looks nice, right? Am I yapping too much? Are you guys even interested? I'm sorry, I feel like I'm yapping a lot. Good, good. Let me get into the reading of it all. Let's see. Sorry, I have to scroll because usually I have, as you know, I'm having it all printed out. I'm not sure if I want to read all of this, actually. True sea and ships blown along by winds depicted as fat-cheeked men. It was a cheap souvenir, the kind tourists bought along East Stav, but it had seemed to please her. Now he risked raising a hand in greeting. Anya showed no reaction. She can't see you, moron, laughed Rutger. The glass is mirrored on the other side. Jost's cheeks pinked. How was I to know that? Open your eyes and pay attention for once. First Yuri, now Anya. Why do they need a Grisha healer? Is the boy injured? He looks fine to me. The captain and Hode seemed to reach some kind of agreement. Through the glass, Jost saw Hode enter the cell and give the boy an encouraging pat. There must have been vents in the cell because he heard Hode say, "Be a brave lad, and there's a few Krug in it for you." Then he grabbed Anya's chin with a liver-spotted hand. She tensed and Jost's gut tightened. Hode gave Anya's head a little shake. "Do as you're told, and this will be soon over, yeah?" She gave a small, tight smile. Of course, uncle. Hode whispered a few words to the guard behind Anya, then stepped out. The door shut with a loud clang, and Hode slid a heavy lock into place. Hode and the other merchant took positions almost directly in front of Joost and Rutger. The merchant Joost didn't know said, "You sure this is wise? This girl is a Koporalnik. After what happened to your fabricator. If it wasn't Redvenko, I'd be worried, but Anya has a sweet disposition. She's a healer, not prone to aggression. And you've lowered the dose? Yes, but we agreed that if we had the same results as the fabricator, the council will compensate me. I can't be asked to bear the expense." When the merchant nodded, Hode signaled to the captain. "Proceed." The same results as the fabricator. Redvenko claimed Yuri had vanished. Was that what he'd meant? "Sergeant," said the captain, "are you ready?" The guard inside the cell replied, "Yes, sir." Sorry. He drew a knife. Joost swallowed hard. "First test," said the captain. The guard bent forward and told the boy to roll up his sleeve. The boy obeyed and stuck out his arm, popping the thumb of his other hand into his mouth. Too old for that, thought Joost. But the boy must be very scared. Joost had slept with a sock bear until he was... Thank you for the follow! Oh my god, that's so kind, Ralph! I appreciate you! Hi, welcome! Welcome to Bookstream. But the boy must be very scared. Joost had slept with the sock bear until he was nearly 14, a fact his older brothers had mocked mercilessly. "This will sting just a bit," said the guard. The boy kept his thumb in his mouth and nodded, eyes round. "This really isn't necessary," said Anya. "Quiet, please," said Hode. The guard gave the boy a pat, then slashed a bright red cut across his forearm. The boy started crying immediately. Anya tried to rise from her chair, but the guard placed a stern hand on her shoulder. "It's all right, Sergeant," said Hode. "Let her heal him." Anya leaned forward, taking the boy's hand gently. "Shh," she said. "Let me help." "Will it hurt?" The boy gulped. She smiled. "Not at all. Just a little itch. Try to hold still for me." Joost found himself leaning closer. He'd never actually seen Anya heal someone. Anya removed a handkerchief from her sleeve and wiped away the excess blood. Then her fingers brushed carefully over the boy's wound. Joost watched in astonishment as the skin slowly seemed to reform and knit together. A few minutes later, the boy grinned and held out his arm. It looked a bit red, but it was otherwise smooth and unmarked. Was that magic? Anya tapped him on the nose. "Of a sort. The same magic your own body works when you give it a bit of time and a bit of bandage." The boy looked almost disappointed. Good, good, Hode said, impatiently. "Now the parum." Joost frowned. He'd never heard that word. The captain signaled to his sergeant. "Second sequence. Put out your arm," the sergeant said to the boy once again. The boy shook his head. "I don't like that part." "Do it." The boy's lower lip quivered, but he put out his arm. The guard cut him once more. Then he placed a small wax paper envelope on the table in front of Anya. "Swallow the contents of the packet," Hode instructed Anya. "What is it?" she asked, voice trembling. "This isn't your concern." "What is it?" she repeated. "It's not going to kill you. We're going to ask you to perform some simple tasks to judge the drug's effects. The sergeant is here to make sure you only do what you're told and no more. Understood?" Her jaw set, but she nodded. "No one would harm you," said Hode, "but remember, if you hurt the sergeant, you have no way out of that cell. The doors are locked from the outside." "What is that stuff?" whispered Joost. "I don't know," said Rutger. "What do you know?" he muttered. "Enough to keep my trap shut." Joost scowled. With shaking hands, Anya lifted her little wax envelope and opened the flap. "Go on," said Hode. She tipped her head back and swallowed the powder. For a moment she sat, waiting, her lips pressed together. "You're so cute." "Is it just Yorda?" she asked hopefully. Yost found himself hoping too. Yurda was nothing to fear. A stimulant everyone in the stat watch chewed to stay awake on late watches. What does it taste like? Hode asked. Like Yurda, but sweeter. Anya inhaled sharply. Her hand seized the table, her pupils dilating enough that her eyes looked nearly black. Oh, she said, sighing. It was nearly a purr. The guard tightened his grip on her shoulder. How do you feel? She stared at the mirror and smiled. Her tongue peeked through her white teeth, stained like rust. Yost felt suddenly cold. Just as it was with the fabricator, murmured the merchant. Heal the boy, Hode commanded. She waved her hand through the air, the gesture almost dismissive, and the cut on the boy's arm sealed instantly. The blood lifted briefly from his skin in droplets of red, then vanished. His skin looked perfectly smooth, all trace of blood or redness gone. The boy beamed. That was definitely magic. It feels like magic, Anya said with the same eerie smile. She didn't touch him, marveled the captain. Anya, said Hode, listen closely. We're going to tell the guard to perform the next test now. Hummed Anya. Sergeant, said Hode. Cut off the boy's thumb. The boy howled and started to cry again. He shoved his hand beneath his legs to protect them. I should stop this, Yost thought. I should find a way to protect her, both of them. But what then? He was a nobody, new to the stud watch, new to this house. Besides, he discovered in a burst of shame, I want to keep my job. Anya merely smiled and tilted her head back so she was looking at the sergeant. Shoot the glass. What did she say? Asked the merchant. Sergeant! The captain barked out. Shoot the glass, Anya repeated. The sergeant's face went slack. He cocked his head to one side as if listening to a distant melody, then unslung his rifle and aimed at the observation window. Get down! Someone yelled. Yost threw himself to the ground, covering his head as the rapid hammer of gunfire filled the ears, and bits of glass rained down on his hands and back. His thoughts were a panicked clamor. His mind tried to deny it, but he knew what he'd just seen. Anya had commanded the sergeant to shoot the glass. She'd made him do it. But that couldn't be. Grusha Korporalki specialized in the human body. They could stop your heart, slow your breathing, snap your bones. They couldn't get inside your head. For a moment, there was silence. Then Yost was on his feet, with everyone else reaching for his rifle. Hode and the captain shouted at the same time, Subdue her! Shoot her! Do you know how much money she's worth? Hode retorted. Someone restrain her! Do not shoot her! Anya raised her hands, red sleeves spread wide. Wait, she said. Yost's panic vanished. He knew he'd been frightened, but his fear was a distant thing. No, thank you. I don't need viewers. I need people to be here because they want to be here, not because any other reason. You know? Can somebody block this person? I blocked this person. Don't worry about it. I'm very happy to hear that. Wait, let me just put this... Wait. Oh, I hate that. That is disgusting. Wait. Anya raised her hands, red sleeves spread wide. Wait, she said. Yost's panic vanished. He knew he'd been frightened, but his fear was a distinct thing. He was filled with expectation. He wasn't sure what was coming or when, only that it would arrive and it was essential he be ready to meet it. It might be bad or good. He didn't really care. His heart was free of worry and desire. He longed for nothing, wanted nothing. His mind silent, his breath steady. He only needed to wait. He saw Anya rising and pick up the little boy. He heard her crooning tenderly to him, some Rufkan lullaby. Open the door and come in, Hode, she said. Yost heard the words, understood them, forgot them. Hode walked to the door and slid the bolt free. He entered the steel cell. Do as you're told, and this will be over soon, yeah? Anya murmured with a smile. Her eyes were black and bottomless pools. Her skin was alight, glowing, incandescent. A thought flickered through Yost's mind. beautiful as the moon. Anya shifted the boy's weight in her arms. Don't look, she murmured against his hair. Now, she said to Hode, pick up the knife. I am itchy in my face. This is not good. This is not good. Right. Y'all came for the horny books and now are leaving again. That is okay. That is a-okay. Wait, let me see. Where are we going? Dom texted me the pages. Right. Like, hello. Yeah, that's what I thought, baby. Right. 10th chapter, Ine. Over the next day, Ine saw Kaz begin to move the pieces of his scheme into position. She'd been privy to his consultations with every member of the crew, but she knew she was seeing only fragments of his plan. That was the game Kaz always played. If he had doubts about what they were attempting, it didn't show, and Ine wished she shared his certainty. His confide unnerved her. What makes you think we can do this? There will be other teams out there, trained soldiers and spies, people with years of experience. This isn't a job for trained soldiers and spies. It's a job for thugs and thieves. Van Eck knows it, and that's why he brought us in. You can spend his money if you're dead. I'll acquire expensive habits in the afterlife. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. He'd turn his back on her, then He'd turn his back on her then, giving each of his gloves a sharp tug. And when I want a sermon on that, I know who to come to. If you want out, just say so. Her spine had straightened, her own pride rising to her defense. Matthias isn't the only irreplaceable member of this crew, Kaz. You need me. I need your skills, Ine. That's not the same thing. You may be the best spider crawling around the barrel, but you're not the only one. You'd do well to remember it if you want to keep your share of the haul. She hadn't said a word, hadn't wanted to show just how angry he'd made her, but she'd left his office and hadn't said a thing to him since. Now, as she's headed toward the harbor, she wondered what kept her on his path. On this path, she could leave Kerch anytime she wanted. She could stow away on a ship bound for the Novi Zem. She could go back to Ravka and search for her family. Hopefully, they'd been safe in the west when the Civil War broke out, or maybe they'd taken refuge in Shuhan. The Suli caravans had been following the same well-worn roads for years, and she had the skills to steal what she needed to survive until she found them. That would mean walking out on her debt to the dregs. Per Haskell would blame Kaz. He'd be forced to carry the price of her indenture, and she'd be leaving him vulnerable without his wrath to gather secrets. But hadn't he told her that she was easily replaced? If they managed to pull off this heist and return to Kerch safely in Tau, her percentage of the haul would be more than enough to buy her way out of their contract with the dregs. Yes, yes, yes. Don't worry about it, Anthony. She'd owe Kaz nothing, and there would be no reason for her to stay. Sunrise was only an hour away, but the streets were crowded as she went her way from the east to the west Stave. There was a Suli saying, "The heart is an arrow, it demands aim to land true." Her father had liked to recite this when she was training on the wire or the strings. Be decisive, he'd say. You have to know where you want to go before you get there. Her mother had laughed at this. That's not what that means, she said. You take the romance out of everything. He hadn't, though. Her father had adored her mother. Ine remembered him leaving little bouquets of wild geraniums for her mother to find everywhere, in the cupboards, the camp cookpots, the sleeves of her costumes. Shall I tell you a secret of true love? Her father once asked her. A friend of mine liked to tell me that women love flowers. He had many flirtations, but he never found a wife. Do you know why? Because women may love flowers, but only one woman loves the scent of gardenias in late summer that reminds her of her grandmother's porch. Only one woman loves apple blossoms in a blue cup. Only one woman loves wild geraniums. That's Mama! Ine had cried. Yes, Mama loves wild geraniums because no other flower has quite the same color, and she claims that when she snaps the stem and puts a sprig behind her ear, the whole world smells like summer. Many boys will bring you flowers, but someday you'll meet a boy who will learn your favorite flower, your favorite song, your favorite sweet. And even if he is too poor to give you any of them, it won't matter because he will have taken the time to know you as no one else does. Only that boy earns your heart. It felt like 100 years ago. Her father had been wrong. There had been no boys to bring her flowers, only men with stacks of krug and purses full of coins. Would she ever see her father again? Hear her mother singing? Listen to her uncle's silly stories? I'm not sure I have a heart to give any more, Papa. The problem was that Ine was no longer certain what she was aiming for. When she'd been little, it had been easy, a smile from her father, the tightrope raised another foot, orange cakes wrapped in white paper. Then it had been getting free from Tante Helene and the menagerie, and after that surviving each day, getting a little stronger with every morning. Now she didn't know what she wanted. Give me a second. From this vantage, she could see the top of the Tidemark towers where lights always burned. The thick of obelisks of black stones were manned day and night by a select group of Grisha who kept the tides permanently high over the land bridge that otherwise would have connected Kerch to Shuhan. Hi, Frankie. Welcome. Go away. Even Kaz had been able to learn the identities of the Council of the Tides, where they live. Even Kaz had never been able to learn the identities of the Council of Tides, where they lived, or how their loyalty to Kerch had been guaranteed. They watched the harbors too, and if a signal went up from the harbor master or a dock worker, they'd alter the tides and keep anyone from heading out to sea. But on this night, there would be no signal. The right bribes had been paid to the right officials, and their ships should be ready to sail. Ine broke into a jog, heading for the loading docks at Fifth Harbor. She was very late. She wasn't looking forward to Kaz's disapproving frown when she made it to the pier. She was glad for the peace of the docks, but they seemed almost too still after the noise and chaos of the barrel. Here, the rows of crates and cargo containers were stacked high on either side of her, 3, sometimes 4 on top of one another. They made this part of the docks feel like a labyrinth. A cold sweat broke out at the base of her spine. The run-in with Tante Helene had left her shaken, and the heft of the dagger in her hands wasn't enough to soothe her rattled nerves. She knew she should get used to carrying a pistol, but the weight threw her off balance, and guns could jam or lock in a bad moment. Little lynx. Her blades were reliable, and it made her feel like she'd been born with proper claws. A light mist was rising off the water, and through it Ine saw Kaz and the others waiting at the pier. They all wore the nondescript clothes of sailors, rough spun trousers, boots, thick wool coats, and hats. Even Kaz had foregone his immaculate cut suit in favor of a bulky wool coat. The thick sheave of his hair was combed back, the sides trimmed short as always. He looked like a dock worker or a boy setting sail on his first adventure. It was almost as if she were peering through a lens at some other, more pleasant reality. Behind them, she saw the little schooner, or little schooner? I don't know. Kaz had commandeered, Fairland written bold script on its side. It would fly the purple Kerch fishes and the colorful flag of the Hanrad Bay Company. To anyone in Fjerda or the True Sea, they would simply look like Kerch trappers heading north for skins and furs. Ine quickened her pace. If she hadn't been running late, they probably would have been aboard, or even on their way out the harbor already. They would keep a minimal crew, all former sailors who had made their way into the ranks of the dregs through one misfortune or the other. Through the mist, she made a quick count of the waiting group. The number was off. They'd brought They brought on 4 additional members of the Drags to help sail the schooner, since none of them really knew their way around the rigging, but she didn't see any of them. Maybe they were all already on board. But even as she had the thought, her boot landed on something soft and she stumbled. She looked down. In the dim glow of the harbor gaslights, she saw Dirix, one of the Drags who had been meant to make the journey with them. There was a knife in his abdomen, and his eyes were glassy. "Kaz!" she shouted, but it was already too late. The schooner exploded, knocking Ine off her feet and showering the docks in flame. I guess I could give you one more little chapter. What was the last one? 147. She's ramping, yes. I think I want to read you all of that. Before Ine had ever set foot on the high wire or even a practice rope, her father had taught her to fall, to protect her head and minimize the impact by not fighting her own momentum. Even as the blast from the harbor lifted her off her feet, she was tucking into a roll. She hit hard, but she was up in seconds, pressed against the side of a crate, her ears ringing, her nose singed by the sharp scent of gunpowder. Ine spared Kaz and the others a single glance, then she did what she did best. She vanished. She launched herself up the cargo crates, scaling them like a nimble insect, her rubber-soled feet finding grip and footholds. The view from above was disturbing. The Dregs were outnumbered, and there were men working their way around their left and right flanks. Kaz had been right to keep their real point of departure a secret from the others. Someone had talked. Ine had tried to keep tabs on the team, but someone else in the gang could have been snooping. Kaz had said it himself. Everything in Ketterdam leaked, including the Slat and the Crow Club. Someone was firing down from the masts of the Fairland. Hopefully that meant Jasper had made it to the schooner, and she just had to buy the others enough time to make it there as well. Ine ran slightly over the tops of the crates, making her way down the row, seeking her targets below. It was easy enough. None of them expected the threat coming from above. She slid to the ground, behind 2 men firing at Nina, and said a silent prayer as she slit one throat, then the next. When the second man dropped, she crouched beside him and rolled up his right sleeve. A tattoo of a hand, its fist and second fingers cut off at the knuckles. Black tips. Was this retribution for Kaz's showdown with the Gales, or something more? They shouldn't have been able to raise that kind of numbers. She moved onto the next aisle of crates, following a mental map of the other attackers' positions. First, she took down a girl holding a massive, unwieldy rifle, then skewered the man who was supposed to be watching her flank. His tattoo showed 5 birds in a wedge formation. Razor goals. Just how many gangs were they up against? The next corner was blind. Should she scale the cargo containers to check the position, or risk what might be waiting for her on the other side? She took a deep breath, sank low, and slipped around the corner in a lunge. Tonight her saints were kind. 2 men were firing on the docks with their backs to her. She dispatched them with 2 quick thrusts of her blades. 6 bodies, 6 lives taken. She was going to have to do a lot of penance, but she'd helped even the odds a bit in the Drag's favor. Now she needed to get to the schooner. She wiped her knives on her leather breeches and returned them to their sheaths, then backed up and took a running start at the nearest cargo containers. As her fingers gripped the rim, she felt a piercing pain beneath her arm. She turned in time to see Uman's ugly face split in a determined grimace. All the intelligence she had gathered on the black tips came back to her in a sickening rush. Uman, Gil's shambling enforcer, the one who could crush skulls with her spare hands. He yanked her down and grabbed the front of her vest, giving the knife in her side a sharp twist. Ine fought not to black out. As her hood fell back, he Jesus Christ, my god. Doing Bookstream, fam. How are you doing, John? reading to people. I am quite dry in my throat. Right. I love you. Uman, Gil's shambling enforcer, the one who could crush skulls with his bare hands. He yanked her down and grabbed the front of her vest, giving the knife in her side a sharp twist. Ine fought not to black out. As her hood fell back, he exclaimed, Gazen! I've got Brecker's wrath! You should have aimed higher, Ine gasped. Missed my heart. Don't want you that, Wrath, he said. You're quite the prize. Can't wait to hear all the gossip you've gathered for Dirty Hands and all his secrets too. I love a good story. I can tell you how this is going to end, she said on an unsteady breath. But you're not going to like it. That's so? He slammed her up against the crate and pain crashed through her. Her toes only brushed the ground as blood spurted from the wound on her side. Uman's forearm was braced against her shoulders, keeping her arms pinned. Do you know the secret fighting a scorpion? He laughed. Talking nonsense, Wrath. Don't die too quick. Need to get you patched up. She crossed one ankle behind the other and heard a reassuring click. She wore the pads at her knees for crawling and climbing, but there was another reason too, namely the tiny steel blade hidden in each of them. The secret, she panted, is to never take your eyes off the scorpion's tail. She brought her knee up, jammed the blade between Uman's legs. He shrieked and released her, hands going to his bleeding groin. She staggered back down the row of crates. She could hear men shouting to each other, the pop of gunfire coming in smatters and bursts now. Who was winning? Had the others made it to the schooner? A wave of dizziness rolled over her. When she touched her fingers to the wound at her side, they came away wet. Too much blood. Footsteps. Someone was coming. She couldn't climb, not with this wound, not with this amount of blood she'd lost. She remembered her father putting her on the rope ladder for the first time. Climb, Bene. The cargo containers were stacked like a pyramid here. If she could make it up just one, she could hide herself on the first level. Just one. She could climb or she could stand there and die. She willed her mind to clarity and hopped up, fingertips latching onto the top of the crate. Climb, Bene. She dragged herself over the edge onto the tin roof of the container. It felt so good to lie there, but she knew she'd left a trail of blood behind her. One more, she told herself. One more, and you'll be safe. She forced herself up to her knees and reached for the next crate. The surface beneath her began to rock. She heard laughter from below. Come out, Wrath. We have secrets to tell. Desperately, she reached for the lip of the next crate again and gripped it, fighting through an onslaught of pain as the container under her dropped away. Then she was just hanging, legs dangling helplessly down. They didn't open fire. They wanted her alive. Come down, Wrath. She didn't know where the strength came from, but she managed to pull herself over the top. She lay on the crate's roof, panting. Just one more. But she couldn't push herself to the knees, couldn't reach, couldn't even roll. It hurt too much. Climb, Bene. I can't, Papa, she whispered. Even now, she hated to disappoint him. Move, she told herself. This is a stupid place to die. And yet a voice in her head said there were worse places. She would die here, in freedom, beneath the beginnings of dawn. She'd die after a worthy fight, not because some man had tired of her or required more from her than she could give. Better to die here by her own blade than with her face painted and her body swathed in false silks. A hand seized her ankle. They'd climbed the crates. Why hadn't she heard them? Was she that far gone? They had her. Someone was turning her onto her back. She slid the dagger from the sheath at her wrist. In the barrel, a blade this sharp was known as kind steel. It meant a quick death. Better death than torture at the mercy of the black tips or the razor gulls. May the saints receive me. She pressed the tip beneath her breast, between her ribs, an arrow to her heart. Then a hand gripped her wrist painfully, forcing her to drop the blade. Not just yet, Dine. The rasp of stone on stone. Her eyes flew open. Kaz. He bundled her into his arms and leapt down from the crate, sliding roughly, his bad leg buckling. She moaned as they hit the ground. Did we win? I'm here, aren't I? He must be running. Her body bounced painfully against his chest with every lurching step. He couldn't carry her and use his cane. I don't want to die. I'll do my best to make other arrangements for you. She closed her eyes. Keep talking, Reth. Don't slip away from me. But it's what I do best. He clutched her tighter. Just make it to the schooner. Open your damn eyes, Ine. She tried. Her vision was blurry, but she could make out a pale, shiny scar in Kaz's neck, right beneath his jaw. She remembered the first time she'd seen him at the menagerie. He paid Tante Helene for information. Stock tips, political pillow talk, anything the menagerie clients blabbed about when drunk or giddy on bliss. He never visited Helene's girls, though plenty would have been happy to take him up to their rooms. They claimed he gave them the shivers, that his hands were permanently stained with the blood beneath those black gloves, but she'd recognized the eagerness in their voices and the way they tracked him with their eyes. One night as he'd passed her in the parlor, she'd done a foolish thing, a reckless thing. I can help you, she whispered. He'd glance at her, then proceeded on his way as if she didn't say anything. The next morning she'd be called to Tante Helene's parlor. She'd been sure another beating was coming or worse, but instead Kaz Brecker had been standing there, leaning on his crow-head cane, waiting to change her life. I can help you, she said now. Help me with what? She couldn't remember. There was something she was supposed to tell him. It didn't matter anymore. Talk to me, Wrath. You came back for me. You protect my investments. Investments. I'm glad I'm bleeding all over your shirt. I'll put it on the tab. Now she remembered. He owed her an apology. Say you're sorry. For what? Just say it. She didn't hear his reply. The world had grown dark. Very dark, indeed. Yes, I am a regular streamer. Well, since I don't want to spoil any more for you, my babies, this is going to be it. But I can assure you, the series is beautiful. I love it. It was so well written. It was so full of suspense. Again, it is like a bit tricky to get into, but it's a really, 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 really good book. Right, which brings me to suggestions for the next book stream. Does anybody have suggestions? Does anybody has? That's nice. I'm glad to hear. I'm very, very glad to hear. I'm always happy to be of assistance with this one. Let me just whip out something. Whip out my deck. Anyways. What are we reading next month, babies? What are we reading? Does anyone have any suggestions? I thought we could maybe... I was thinking maybe... Wait, let me see him. Let me see. What have I gotten for you, babies? I thought about... All suggestions welcome. I thought about mayhaps, possibly, doing Piranesi. Piranesi by... Where is it? Piranesi. By Suzanne Clark. It is like, I maybe want to go for something like a little more spoopy, like a bit more funny, hee hee ha ha, goofy picks. It is nominee for Best Fantasy 2020 Piranesi. It has quite good ratings. It is a fantasy book. And I kind of want to put that on the list. Piranesi. By Susanna Clark. Anyone else got any suggestions? Because I will fill this up by myself. I also thought maybe to go for the Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue. I also... That is fair. That is a fair point. I was also thinking about... Let me get into thrillers. What kind of thrillers did I want to read recently? The Ninth House, maybe? By Leigh Bardugo. Emily really liked that book. She said it was a bit like hard, like it was quite hard, harsh towback kind of thing. But she said it was amazing, so I'm thinking like maybe that would be a nice contender. Hi, Cheese. How are you doing? What else? Ooh, The Shining by Stephen King. That's nice. Yeah. I like that for a little spoopy action. Yes. Yeah. Why are you happy, friends? Tell me about it. What else do I have on my list? On my sick little list? Let me see. How about... What have I over there? I was talking to a girl I kind of like, and last time I met her was like... Oh, that's nice. You know what? You know what I wanted to put into there as well? Let's put in Britney Spears biography. I think that's like quite a nice selection, right? Because we got a bit of everything. So we got the Britney Spears biography, we got The Shining by Stephen King, we got Piranesi by Suzanne Clarke, we got The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and we got The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. How do we feel about that? I feel really good about that, actually. I like that. I really like that. Any additions, my friends? Any additions? Because if not, I will have to head to bed because Bookstream is always kind of like nice. I'm very excited. I'm also very excited to see what we're going to pick. Right, people, I'll see you guys tomorrow then, because again, I have been prepping this bullshit for, and when I say bullshit, I mean this beautiful piece. These beautiful pieces. I am quite pumped to put, those away. Yeah, please don't. Please don't tie it again. I cannot do this anymore. I'm quite excited to put this away and, not have to fucking write my hands bloody again. And hopefully I can do you guys better next time with, like, a bit more of, like, sassy thing. Right, people. Anyways, thank you so much for coming by. Welcome. Thank you so much for... Why did I say welcome? That's weird. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for sitting with me through Bookstream. Thank you so much for, you know, appreciating this experience. And I'll see you tomorrow for Back for Grief. I adore every single one of you. The special thanks to Case again for being a trooper and doing this with me. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for Leak Grief. Bye, peeps.